We're back. All right. We get to do our first hunt phase of the new campaign. That is exciting. Just as a quick refresher, who we brought along with us, we have Chandra returning as our fist and tooth specialist with lots of crits for her. Shirley is going to have the bone darts. Aegis, our fresh survivor, is going to be our primary tank. He's got lots of good stats, lots of armor. Should be okay there. And then Rickard is just going to do his best. So I have set up the board for the hunt. So the hunt for the frog dog is interesting. If you remember, the White Lion had 2 White Lion events and only 1 basic event. Frog dog is the other way around. And as we know from last time around, regular hunt events are one of the most dangerous things in this game. Well, one of the most dangerous things in the game other than me rolling dice. But hunt events involve me rolling dice, so I guess it works out. Let's kick off this hunt. So let's see. I like to randomize who goes first. And we get 2, which is Shirley. So Shirley will reveal the first hunt event. And we actually do reveal now because I've added some other stuff to the box. Random event. It's almost always going to be a random event, but there is possibility for other stuff popping up. So our first random event is a 44. Opportunists. While investigating their quarry's tracks, the survivors realize they are hunting not 1, but 2 monsters. Uh-oh. The 2 sets of tracks soon separate, leaving the event revealer to pick which tracks to follow. If they follow the larger tracks, continue hunting as normal. If they follow the smaller tracks, start the showdown immediately. At the start of the showdown, the monster suffers 5 wounds. If the survivors are victorious, they gain half the basic resource. Okay, well, we're not doing that. We're just going to... We need resources. So we are just going to continue the hunt as normal. Aegis reveals first look at a frog dog event. Wet ground. The loamy stone faces collapse underfoot. Brown water gradually rises ankle deep. The survivors' clapping footfalls turn to sloshing as they push deeper into the marshy terrain. Each survivor rolls a d10. Okay. We'll start off with Aegis. A 9. The faint burbling forms into incoherent speech. Gain +1 insanity and +1 understanding. You witness an omen. I still don't think this means anything. Let me quickly consult the rulebook for the frog dog with these omens, because that's our second omen. Anything else in here? Oh, there's. I didn't go far enough back. Omens and festivals. Survivors hunting frog dogs are surrounded by the byproducts of radical change. They may interpret these convergences as omens that portend corresponding changes in the settlement. If enough signs appear, the settlement celebrates the Metamorphosis Festival. When survivors witness an omen on the hunt or during a showdown, use an omen tile as a reminder. When survivors return, they eagerly share news of the omens they witnessed with the settlement. During this step, record any omens on the settlement record sheet and archive the omen tiles. The settlement nominates an interpreter of signs when they innovate mere omens. Okay, so we do get the omens now. We just can't do anything with them. So we did get 1 omen on the last fight. So I'm going to make note of that. And Aegis gets an omen tile. So was it +1 understanding and +1 insanity? Nice. He could use some insanity, so I will take that. Yep, 1 insanity, 1 understanding, and witness and omen. Cool. We will do Rickard next. The 1, of course. Alloy-eating vermin vermiforms latch to your feet. Set your leg armor to 0. Well, he doesn't have any leg armor. If your leg armor is metal, archive it. All right, so actually nothing bad there right now. Chandra with an 8. Oh, she gets all that stuff too. Cool. And 1 insanity for her. And finally, Shirley. With a, is that a, oh, that's an 8. All right, so poor Rickard, you kind of suck, but everybody else got some good stuff. We are full of omens. Also got a 1, 1, 1. Well, Aegis, yeah, he would have, his leg armor would have gone down to 0, which, I mean, it's not a huge difference from 1, but he would have kept the boots because the boots are not metal. So it wouldn't have been the end of the world. Would have been unfortunate, but we could have dealt with it. And then hopefully Rickard is our last hunt event, which is just a random event. With an 85. Test of Courage. Lava flows from the eyes of a huge grimacing stone face. Its gritted teeth hold a worn sword. If there are any survivors with 6+ courage, well, that ain't happening. They gain the adventure sword rare gear. That's cool. If no one can test their mettle, the group moves on with a feeling of inadequacy. The settlement already has an adventure sword and storytelling. The survivors share stories of bravery. All right, so nothing happens. Nothing happens is honestly a pretty good outcome from this book. Yeah, he is the only one with leg armor, but like it's 1 armor. It's not like he lost 4 armor from his legs. Like, this is something that would be super dangerous later on in the game when you have a lot of armor. Granted, losing any armor is bad, but if I'm going to lose armor, I'd rather lose 1 than 5, right? And then Chandra starts the encounter with the frog dog. So honestly, overall, a very good hunt phase. All right, here we are. Why am I missing somebody? Oh, there. So for the frog dog setup, so of note, she has 1 extra movement and 1 extra toughness, going to have 11 wounds. All of the stuff that was in play last time around is in play this time. We get the leaves. We don't have that weird copper thing. So maybe I should have gone after. I still don't think it was worth going after it. That would have been way too dangerous. No extra terrain either. Interesting. And survivors can start in any of the blue spaces. So let's start off. Yeah, Chandra, you can start off in the blind spot. I'm okay with that. Aegis, I want you front and center because that's your job. And otherwise, I think I'm okay with that setup. Yeah, we should be fine with that. So let's kick it off with our first AI card. And it's a mood. Well, that's fun. When this comes into play, perform basic action. And we will look at the rest of that after we do that. That's the wrong button. There we go. That feels bad. So perform basic action. Random stinky survivor in range. Oh, wait. Is this Monster Grease? Monster Grease is stinky. So Aegis starts off with a stink token. Which, that's fine. Like, we want that. We want him to be the target. All right, so random stinky survivor. We only have one stinky survivor, so it's definitely Aegis. So Aegis has 2 evasion. He has 1 evasion from the Rawhide Vest, because we have the blue and the red connected. And then he also has 1 evasion from the Monster Grease. Does not have the 2nd evasion from the Monster Grease. It's going to be a while before we turn that on. So we are hitting the monster is hitting on 7s. 1 hit. So that is 1 damage to his body, which is acceptable. Just born is stinky. And we perform gaseous bloat, which, as we've discussed previously, just means he draws a fart card. So now we have the rest of what's going on here. Reeking jets of hot, stale vapor stream out. While this is in play, the monster gains +1 damage token. Oh no. So that actually would have been 2 damage to his body. So we are not going to do that. He's going to spend a survival to dodge that. Oof. Any survivor that ends their act in the breath zone suffers knockback 6. Discard this when the monster suffers a critical wound. Okay. So this is kind of going to be the same thing that happened last time around. We're going to throw some attacks at it. Hopefully we crit. If not, we'll throw a Founding Stone. So with that, Chandra should probably be our first attacker, since she has a lot of crit. Okay, let's think about this. Because I also want to get into the Heinous Origin to get rid of that fart card. Who's more likely to wound? So Chandra will wound on a 7 and 8. So Chandra, if Chandra wounds, she's critting. So Chandra has a 30% chance to deal a wound. Rickard has a slightly higher chance to wound. So we will use Rickard to try and get that Heinous Origin. So he is hitting on 6s. That is 1 hit. Festering Exposed Gums. So he has 1 strength. So he will be wounding on a 7. Oh boy, we're already in it. All right. Whew. I'll take it. So that doesn't happen. So that's altogether nice. So we will draw face down. We will get rid of this card and deal a wound. All right. First attack of the fight, and I'm already getting anxious about it. Next, we will have Chandra go. Just for safety's sake, I'm going to scooter around this way. Because, again, I don't want to be adjacent to these leaves if I can help it. So Chandra is hitting on 7s. 2 hits. Excellent. I don't like that. All right. So this is fine because we are in the blind spot. So we will definitely do this one first. So Chandra is wounding on an 8, critting on an 8. So excellent. 8 or higher would be fantastic. That's a crit. So persistent injury, busted. Maybe busted knuckle will be important this time around. I hope so. Man, if we can get Chandra some strength, she's going to be an absolute beast. And then the festering sinuses. That is a failure. Before I forget, Rickard does get the stone noses. So hasn't been relevant for him, so I'm okay with backtracking that. So we did fail here. Melodic trills echo from the chambers of the monster's gullet. Adjacent insane survivors perceive the frog dog's infectious laughter. They gain... Oh, they are knocked down. However, nobody is insane right now, so that does nothing. We will have Shirley go next. I'm just going to move her. Oh, no, she has ranged attacks. So I'm actually going to scoot her back some. She has the bone darts. So only 1 speed, hitting on a 7, but these things are strong. Miss, though. And then Aegis is just going to stand there and keep doing what he's doing. Well, if you're sleepy, please go to sleep. I appreciate you being here, but I want you to take care of yourself. So Bone Axe is hitting on 6s. That is 1 hit to the twitching hand. So the Bone Axe has a strength of 3. So we are wounding this guy on a 5. Nine. Nice. So that is another wound. All right. Good first round. I'll sleep when I'm dead. All right. Overall, could not have asked for more there. So, oh, right. We did deal a crit, so this is gone. I completely forgot about that. My goodness. So yeah, this... I almost screwed that up very badly. I forgot I needed to use a founding stone there if I had failed to crit. Thankfully, Chandra pulled it out. See, that's where I needed the remind, not for the stone noses. I remembered the stone noses. Oof, that would have been bad. All right, so monster's next card. Gnashing and barking. All right, farthest stinky threat. We still only have 1 stinky threat. So the usual here, hitting on 7s. 1 hit. So that is 1 damage to his body. And this time it's actually 1 damage, so we will take it. And then Intimidate. Again, only 1 person in the facing, so that's good. And it is not a 4+. Excellent. That's it. Pretty chill turn from the monster altogether. And back around to us. So I think we just kind of leave everybody where they are, right? Or do I kind of want to start pivoting Aegis, just because I don't like him being adjacent here. So I'm going to start with him, just to get him to a slightly safer spot. He's very likely to still be the target when he's standing there, though. No hits. All right. Yeah, I think we just stick with this layout. Chandra, you can go next. That is a hit to the sticky tongue. See, that's why we're smart to move Aegis, because leap would have put him at risk. Well, again, we're in the blind spot, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we fail, but if the attacker is not in the monster's blind spot, we are in the blind spot, so we get to ignore that. Rickard, continue doing your stuff. That is one hit as well. And then Rickard, we said, is wounding on a 7. Oh, that's a wound. Okay. I mean, that's not too bad, actually. We can deal with that. So we'll do the wound first. So perform leap, then gaseous bloat. Ugh. Gaseous bloat on the 3rd attack of the round is unfortunate, but nothing we can do about that. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a reroll. 3. So he's going to come over here. He's going to turn that way, and he's going to draw a fart card. So unfortunately, we can't do anything about that, but it is what it is. Shirley is just going to step up to... I think we're going to leave her there. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That puts her in range. For a hit. Nice. And again, bone darts are very strong, so she is wounding on a 5. That's a wound. We got stuff that's happening here. All right, so all adjacent survivors gain a stink token. Nobody's like, oh, she gets the thing too. Oh boy, I don't like this. That's troublesome. But it is what it is. Yep, nothing else we can do. So at the start of the monster's turn, he's actually going to do his fart card. Rotten Emission. This is the same thing as before. So whoever is closest to the heinous origin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be either of them. Aegis, like, this is your job. So you're going to take 1 damage to the head. That's suboptimal, but it's okay. And then 1 brain damage. That you have insanity. That's okay. And you gain a stink token. All right, not so bad. And now he draws his card. I'm sorry, she. I have to keep remembering that. Stinky and brain. I mean, listen, if a giant frog farted on you, you would have brain trauma also. Farthest threat in field. Oh, gosh. That's going to be Shirley, and that's not going to go well for Chandra or Rickard. Oh, actually, he doesn't move. Okay, cool. The sagging carbuncle mouths form the shapes of words, names, meaningful events. Disturbing and intimate. The target is frozen in place. They are... Oh, nope. Okay. No, we're okay. We're all right. Full move the monster until it is exactly 5 spaces from the target, then turn to face them. They suffer 1 brain damage and are knocked down. That's not so bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's just going to move here. So everybody's okay. 1 brain damage to Shirley. And she is knocked down. That's the wrong button. Okay. We could deal with that. I would love for this to be important for literally anything. All right, back around to our turn. So let's... No, that's fine, because if he leaps, he's not going to land here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, Chandra is hitting on 8s now because she couldn't make her way around to the blind spot. Still gets a hit. The twitching coarse crest. All right. Nothing happening. And then Rickard. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put him here. Nothing happening. How are we doing on survival? Rickard is going to use his encourage to stand Shirley up. Why do I keep hitting? I don't want to leave her there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel better about that. Yeah, that's a hit. It's the trap. No. All right. Well, it had to happen eventually. All survivors are doomed. All at once, the carbuncles screw their eyes shut and start to gag. Ugh. Wriggling, mucus-covered balls emerge from the carbuncle orifices. This can never be unseen. Tell me about it. All adjacent survivors suffer 1 brain damage. That's rough. So that is Chandra and Rickard. Thankfully, those were the 2 that still had insanity. Shaking it off its spawn, the ornery monster lashes out, perform basic action targeting the attacker. So that is Shirley. So we're going to put him there. So basic action, hitting on 5s. Shirley doesn't have much in the way of defense, unfortunately. Only 1 hit. That's fine. To the head. That's less fine. Yeah, I'm sorry, John. That will unfortunately knock her down. She just stood up. And we will gaseous bloat. So the good news is Aegis is perfectly positioned to get rid of that card and has not acted yet. So we'll do that. He hits on 6s, right? Yep, so 5s. Oh, wait, before that happens, I gotta reshuffle that deck. All right, now looking for those 5s. Neat. Okay. And that's the end of our turn. Everybody else has acted. So first things first, part card, rancid emission. Twisting anguish turns your pupils to barely visible pinpricks. Behind your eyes, your head aches. Target a survivor the fewest space from heinous origin. Well, Aegis is right there. They suffer 1 damage to the head hit location and gain a stink token. Ooh, that's rough. So he gets another stink token. 1 damage to the head. That brings him to a light wound. All right, we got to start doing something here, guys. And we still got to draw a card. Tongue-tied. Stinkiest threat in range. Well, we know who that is. Perform leap. The frog dog flings its spongy tongue toward the target. Place the target knocked down in front of the monster. Oh no, and now he's off this, so it's possible for him to land here, and that sucks. So let's see where he lands. Okay, 7, 8, 9 is this one. And then, yeah, gaseous bloat is not part of leap. All right, what else we got here? Knocked down. Boo. Oh, and he gets attacked. Thankfully, all of his evasion is still intact. Oh, and they're 2 damage? This card sucks. All right, hitting on 7s. 1 hit, which we're almost definitely going to dodge. to the hands. 2 damage to the hands, I think. Yeah, that's okay. We're going to take 2 damage to the hands. Because that's only a light wound. Okay. Good news is Shirley actually does get to stand up. And we'll probably stand Aegis this turn too. But let's start off. Let's just scoot Shirley out of the way. Let's get her as far away as she can get. And throw a dart. That's a hit. Wounding on a 5. That's a wound. Oh, that kind of sucks. All right, well, let's deal the wound. All right, so now we've gone through all the deck, so we've confirmed once again, this does nothing. All right, so reflex, if the attacker is not in the monster's blind spot, which she is not, perform leap, then the attacker suffers grab. So he's going to go all the way over here. And she's going to be grabbed. And I have to remind myself again, she does suffer the 1 damage from that, right? Yeah, 1 damage. So that is 1 damage to her body. That's okay. Oof, this guy's dangerous, and now nobody's in range. Oh no. Not worth throwing a stone. We just gotta deal with it. Let's move everybody up as much as we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that was only 4. There we go. We should probably stand up Aegis. So Chandra will spend a survival to encourage, just so he can get into the fight as much as can. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all we can do. That was rough. We could throw Founding Stones, but it's not worth it right now. So we're just going to hang out there. Luckily, we're in the back half of this fight. There's a couple dangerous cards in here, though. And that's one of them. So, perform basic action. Random stinky survivor in range. That is going to be Aegis. Somehow Aegis is still the only stinky one, but I'll take it. And yeah, this is what we want. Two hits. That sucks because he's +1 damage. So that's 2 damage each. Body, body. Holy crap. Dodge one of those. And that brings him to a heavy wound on his body. Woof. Aegis is okay. He's not happy, but he's okay. All right. But that's... Oh yeah, we have to do gaseous bloat from this. And then... Yeah, so we just don't want to end our actions in the breath zone. That's okay. And then discard when the monster suffers a critical wound. So, Shirley does get to stand up. So is that a spot? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Shirley's going to go there. Yeah, that's fine. Let's bring her a little closer. Let's put her there. Let's start with Shirley. Miss. That's fine. Well, not fine, but it is what it is. We'll do Rickard next. I don't want to get out of the. I don't want to get out of the blind spot. Oh gosh, it's so risky to be on those leaves right now. I don't want to do it. Listen, a little trauma's good for him. That is one hit. So, wounding on a 7, a crit would be fantastic. It's a wound, so I'll take that. Pockets of gas shift in the monster's midsection, causing irritating muscle cramps. The monster's limbs flap haphazardly. If adjacent, the attacker suffers 2 damage to 1 hit location. I don't think the +1 damage from this applies because it's not an attack. Oh gosh, this is bad. Okay. God, this guy's punishing. So that's 2 damage to his hands. All right, well, that's a heavy wound to his hands. Yes, I apologize. I keep misgendering the frog dog. It's a she. This gal is punishing. Full move away from the attacker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh boy. So Chandra is just going to do what she can. 2, 4, 5. And Shirley is going to encourage Aegis to stand up. We're done with this now. Aegis is just going to 2, 3, 4, 5. But he's not going to attack because we need to crit to get this off. So he is going to chuck his Founding Stone. All right. Oh, wow. This is a good one to draw. Okay. So it's auto crit, so we deal a wound. This is interesting. Okay. The frog dog lets out a hoarse squeal. All non-deaf survivors gain +3 insanity. That's huge. And then we do sad frog dog song. What is that? Sad frog dog song. Oh, that doesn't look good for us. Why do I get the feeling we're the ones that are sad? A melody emerges from the heinous origin. Oh my god. Poots. Poots, what did you do, dude? Your senses cannot determine if it is sound or smell. The high-pitched whistle of the emission seems to stretch in a frozen moment, sounding slower and lower, then finally disappearing into an infrasonic realm that is felt, not heard. The aroma stretches like gaseous fingers, probing every nostril, wrapping around their olfactory bulbs and tightening its hold until the puny sense organ is forever warped. Any scent will bring tears to their eyes. Every reminiscence will smell of sadness. Gain a proctophilia and breathe deep. Is this everybody? No, it's got to just be Aegis. I'm going to assume it's just Aegis. So he gets the stupid thing. But that's okay, because he's always going to depart with monster grease, so that's all right. And now he gets insanity from stink tokens. That's actually really good. And breathe deep. Roll a d10. A 5. Recollection comes undone. Untethered from your past, unable to form a future, you sing out for sorrow you no longer comprehend. Remove your name, abilities, and impairments, fighting arts, and disorders. A man has no name. What? Okay, gain a proctophilia, so that's going to come back. Delirium and chimeric delusion. Aegis has no name. This is wild. So what am I looking for? Delirium and chimeric delusion. That's these two. All right. I'll read those in a sec. So, delirium. All your gear is noisy. That's really bad. On arrival, draw 2 random survivor attribute tokens, honing the side they are honoring the side they are drawn on. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to figure out what that means. And chimeric delusion. You cannot depart to hunt the frog dog. Your delusion prevents you from speaking. You cannot encourage or participate in intimacy. Okay. Okay. Nameless Son of Farquaad is still technically a name. All right. I don't like any of that. But it is what it is. That feels... So what's the good outcome here? Oh, a secret fighting art. Okay. And then this is a persistent injury. Not that I think it matters, but we'll do it anyway. That definitely doesn't matter. I don't remember seeing that. All right, but good news is carbuncle exhalation goes away. And then carbuncle exhalation went away before Aegis ended his turn, so we don't have to worry about that. That's everybody, right? That's everybody. We weren't able to get the fart card off. That sucks. Okay. I wasn't even thinking of that. Could we have... No, we could not. I don't think we could have gotten Aegis there. You're eating dirt right now. I feel like I need an explanation. So yeah, we got to do the fart card first. Sour emission. The aroma causes a sudden weakness in the knees. You collapse indelicately in the craggy murk underfoot. Target a survivor the fewest space from the heinous origin. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's definitely Aegis. Suffer 1 damage to the leg's hit location. That's right, not Aegis. That is the man with no name, Clint Eastwood himself. What did you do? What happened in PSO? And gain a stink token. Yeah, well, the good news is he gains an insanity from that. Although I don't think he's going anywhere after this, because that pile of disorders is rough. And then we're done with that. Well, would you rather be doing that or getting farted on by a giant frog? Let's weigh what's happening here. And we still have to draw an AI card for the turn. Gnashing and barking. Farthest stinky threat. Well, we still only have one stinky person. Yeah, I figured you would. One hit. To the waist. That's okay. And intimidate. Still only targeting that guy. One brain damage. That's fine. Whoever that is, they have plenty of insanity. All right, 3 wounds left. Rickard stands up, although he's going to be out of range from anything useful. Let's just finish this guy off. We'll start with Shirley. That's right, this girl off. Shirley does nothing. Chandra. Let's put her there. Nothing. Cool. Rickard can't do anything. All right, let's do something. Let's have Rickard end his turn on the leaf. It's a little risky, but I don't think there's nothing in here that's doing leaping right now. We might do leaping here. So actually, let's order those turns differently. Let's have this guy go first. That is no hits. Now we'll have Rickard go over here. He will activate the Mammoth Leaf next turn. And I think we're okay with that. Unfortunately, that turn was a whole lot of nothing, but it is what it is. We still have that stupid mood in here. All right, we didn't draw it. That's good. This is fine. This is fine. One hit again. To the head. Oh, no, he already had... That's a severe injury to the head. And he has no survival to dodge. Ruh-roh. That guy might be dead. Oops. No, don't close the book. All right. Like, 40% chance of dying to the head. A 7. Okay. He lives. Blind. Lose an eye. Suffer -1 permanent accuracy. His injury is permanent. It can be recorded twice. Survivor with 2 blind. Gain 1 bleeding token. He's also blind. -1 accuracy. Honestly, whoever that is, they're having a real bad day. Hopefully we could just end this fight soon, though. And then we do the intimidate thing. Another brain damage. All right, let's... 3 wounds. We could do 3 wounds in 1 round. That's absolutely possible. Let's start with Chandra. Get her into the blind spot. Because that is very helpful. 1 hit. I'll take it. I should have had Rickard go first. Just don't fail. Crit! Whew, that was close. And we got rid of that stupid mood. Very happy about that. Did not want to draw that again. The monster's knobbly fingers seize uncontrollably, forming outrageous evocative gestures. He's doing Naruto hand gestures. All survivors gain 1 insanity. Cool. And 1 random frog dog resource. Nifty. What are you? The ironclad spine, nothing special. Okay. All right, 2 more wounds. 2 more wounds. Let's let Rickard do the thing. Unoccupied space, 7 spaces away. Up to 7 spaces away. So we'll just pounce to here. Sorry, going a bit long. Not long, but a lot of talking tonight. So he will be hitting on 6s. 1 hit to the trap. Jesus Christ. Right. All adjacent survivors suffer 1 brain damage. We have plenty of insanity. I have them. I just don't want to be sucking on them while I'm talking. But I will definitely pop them as soon as we're done here. And then perform basic action targeting Rickard. This ain't going to go well for Rickard. 2 hits. Okay. I don't think Rickard's he's taken a little bit of damage. Hand in hand. Oh my god, he's already got a heavy wound on his hand. That's 2 severe injuries to the arms. Oh, buddy. A 10. That's cool. Knocked down. And a 5. Ruptured muscle, a painful rip. The arm hangs limp. You can no longer activate fighting arts. Well, he doesn't currently have any. This injury is permanent and can be recorded once. Gain 1 bleeding token. You know what? There are worse things to happen. He's still useful. Okay, so that's that. Oh, and we gaseous bloat from the basic action. So let's have that guy go next. He's hitting on 6s because he's in the blind spot, but he's -1 accuracy. Nothing. So there's nothing we can do about that fart card now. Well, it is what it is. Shirley, let's just see what you can do. Nothing. Rough. All right. I mean, at least we know what she's doing this turn, aside from the fart card. So let's see what that is. Putrid emission. The horror of drowning in a miasma thick with corpses, flailing wildly for relief that does not come. Targets fire the fewest spaces. We know who that is. Suffer 1 damage to the arms and gain a stink token. Unfortunately, that's a heavy wound to the arms, which will knock him down. And another stink token, which does mean another insanity. And then there's only 1 card left in the AI deck. It's this one. Farthest Stinky Threat. Okay, so this guy's no longer a threat. And nobody else is stinky. Closest threat in field of view in range is Chandra. Chandra has no defenses. 3 hits. Nifty. Waist, body, head. She will dodge the head to take 1 to the body and 1 to the waist. That's fine. And then he's going to do the Intimidate thing, which will hit all 3 of them. Is it roll separately or roll for... Yeah, roll separately. So Shirley, brain damage, Rickard, brain damage, Chandra, brain damage. It's okay, they got plenty of insanity. Okay. Rickard will stand up. Whoever that is stays down. Oh no. You want to go hide under the blankets? Darby usually just puts himself to bed when that happens. I don't remember the thunder song from Ted. Oof, please be safe, friend. All right, 2 wounds. Just need 2 wounds. Let's not stand right here, though. No hits. No hits. Shirley. Shirley hits. Whew. And we need a 5 to wound. Jeez. All adjacent survivors gain stink tokens. Okay. If the attacker is sane, they get the stupid frog thing. Shirley is insane, so we don't have to worry about that. Do we want to stand up? No. I think we... Because we still need 2 wounds. I don't think it's worth it. He's not likely to get 2 hits and 2 wounds. What's going to happen here? Yeah, I think we can take 1 more rounds of attacks here. Yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. All right, doing this again. So farthest stinky threat. That is going to be either Chandra or Rickard. We'll choose Chandra. Oops, wrong button. That's fine. Two hits. Probably should have chosen Rickard. Rickard still has a survival. Too late. Hands and waist. Tornado watch. Oh, goodness. Please, please be careful. All right, she's good on that, though. Oh, please don't say that. You'll be fine. I'm not rolling the dice for you. You are in charge of your own destiny. You'll be fine. All right, he stands up. Rickard's in the blind spot, so I say we just go with him first. No hits. My goodness. Chandra, go here. No hits. You go here. Ugh, no. Stinky threat. Okay, no, that's fine. Oh, furthest stinky threat, though. No, that's still fine. 2 hits. We can do it. We can do it. Alright, so we are definitely doing this one first. He needs a 5 to wound. Cool. Stinkies. Now I know why they gave us so many stink tokens in the box. And again, 5 to wound. You jeez. Form leaf, then gaseous blood. It's falling apart. It is falling apart. We are so close. He leaps to here. She leaps to here. Then we get another one of these, which now we can't do anything about. So everybody's taken their turn already. Okay. Forceful emissions, the deflating relief of bracing for an impact that passes you by. That's going to be him. 1 damage to the waist. That's okay. And another stink. Also, whoever's adjacent to the target, gasp a sigh of relief, each gaining +1 insanity. Oh, that's unfortunate because nobody's adjacent. And then this again. Farthest stinky threat. That's going to be Chandra, who might be out of range. Because it doesn't say she has to be in range. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this doesn't happen. We still do the intimidate, and this is on everybody. So Chandra, yes. Shirley, yes. Who remembers his name? Yes. And Rickard, no. All right, so insanities or brain damages. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 hit. Come on. It's gone on way too long. A crit! What a time for a crit. Okay. I get another one of those cool eyes. That's neat. And we get another omen. Nifty. That's a lot of omens. And then we get another one of those eyes. So now I really want to know what these do. Oh no. God. It's Chandra. I gotta. There's definitely some synergies and stuff I gotta figure out with this expansion. And then we archive this card. Let me just pull it here just to be sure I don't archive everything. Okay, 1 wound left. 1 wound left. Let's see if Chandra can do it. Finish off on a crit would be nice. Two hits. Okay. We got the death blow. We got the death blow again. I don't care if it's cocky. I'm going to do it, guys. I'm going to do it. We did it! If the frog dog is defeated at this location, it pitches forward, its crest rising, borne up by the angry hissing of expanding gases. Just as suddenly, the straining hulk collapses, wheezing melodiously and punctuated by a final wet-sounding emission. We've deflated it. The survivor that dealt the killing blow roars in triumph, gulping lungfuls of gaseous buildup. They gain +1 speed, +2 weapon proficiency levels. Well, that's unfortunate because she doesn't have weapon proficiency yet. And the unfroggable fighting art. Okay, that's interesting. What is unfroggable? Fastidious self-care. You are never stinky and cannot gain stink tokens. Interesting. If you have any stinky gear in your gear when you depart, archive it and gain +1 survival and +1 evasion token. That's weird. Because she has to depart with stinky gear because she has this thing. All right, I got to figure out how that works. Okay. But we did it. Yeah, it's just unfortunate she doesn't have a weapon proficiency yet, but it is what it is. That would have been cool. But I'll take what I can get. So, regular. So, 1 hunt XP, 1 weapon proficiency, and then rewards. So, hunt XP. That's going to trigger age for Chandra. She's going to choose Fist and Tooth. So she will at least gain 1 weapon proficiency. Shirley. Don't know what we're going to give her yet, so that's fine. Whoever you are, you get an XP. And Rickard, you also get an XP. And again, we don't have a good proficiency for you yet either. So we got some aging to do. That's the wrong book. All right, so we will start with Chandra. With a 16. 1 permanent accuracy. That's nice. All right, if we can figure out how to deal... Good night, Jen. Thanks for coming out. If we can figure out how to deal with this whole stink thing that we got going on, we can make something real nice out of Chandra. All right, 10. This was for Shirley. Random fighting art. She gets Combo Master. On a perfect hit, make 1 additional attack roll. That's going to be nice. We might put her into swords then. And then finally, Rickard with a 5 is +1 permanent strength. All right. All right, and then we get our normal rewards, which should be, 4 and 4. I'll get to that in a second. We get an organ, a perfect bone, that's nice, lantern, and a hide. Great, we need 1 more hide. So I would, well, I don't know. We still have to get the frog's location. I don't know what that does. A mossy molar, a spindly paw, and an oily sphincter. Oh, is that a... We cannot innovate this year. Boo. Oh, that counts as iron. That's interesting. Yeah, because we only got 1 hide, and we need that to finish our rawhide set, unfortunately. So what else? First time the frog dog is defeated, add the Frostcrafter to the settlement's location and lingering cough to the next lantern year on the settlement timeline. So I think that goes here then. Because we haven't gotten to Lantern Year 2 yet. This is still Lantern Year 1. Makes sense. Settlement has Song of the Brave. Okay. So we are done with that showdown. God, that got way spicier than I was expecting, but we got through it. The stink thing, I don't know. All right, we're just going to keep rolling, see what happens. So we need to grab the Frostcrafter. And unlike the White Lion and the Screaming Antelope, I'm going to be working on this set because the set is actually pretty cool. But we'll get into that in a minute. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's return. So we get our 4 endeavors. And we update our timeline. So now we are in year 2. So we got a lot of stuff going on this year. Starting off with a random settlement event. This terrifies me every time. Oh, okay. This is one of the new things I added in from the expansion content. This is cool. The Plant and the Stone. Survivors discover a curious plant and a carved stone tablet on the outskirts of the settlement. Has settlement innovated pictograph? No, we have not. The marked stone is meaningless, but the plant is a welcome meal. A survivor pulls endless tuberous roots across the expressionless stone-faced floor. Settlement eats the plant and its long roots. Departing survivors gain +1 survival, +1 insanity. Nice. Next up, we have Young Rivals. We're not doing Endless Screams because we don't have the antelope. Young Rivals is this book. Just going to move that over here for now. Yeah, that's fine. Nope, that's actually not fine. Oh, table space is going to be a problem. Let's just stick it there. All right, Young Rivals. I think that's actually going to be this way. Nope. Oh, okay. We got a whole story going on here. Once there were 2 boys. They argued about everything. Nominate 2 male survivors with at least 1 hunt XP in your settlement. So it's probably going to be Grigori and whoever you are. I'm never going to get tired of that joke. As the boys grew into men, their enmity bloomed into rivalry. With each hard-earned battle scar, they sought to outdo each other. Choose one of the nominated survivors to gain the following ability. Rival's Scar. +1 permanent strength and -1 permanent evasion. Oh man, I wish we had nominated Rickard. We'll give that to Grigori. And we'll put it on his notes, too. Well, maybe not, because there's not a lot of room there. Well, whatever. One day, one of the boys did not return from a hunt. The remaining boy felt no victory over his rival, only the loss of a friend. Unable to find him in the world, he refused to leave his bed, hoping to see him in his dreams. Choose one of the nominated survivors to die and the other to grieve. The grieving survivor gains the following based on the settlement's death principle. Oh, so it's actually really good we had somebody die before, because otherwise we would not have gotten anything from this. All right, so whoever you are, you're now dead. Which means we gain another endeavor. Somebody died in the settlement phase. And that means Grigori gets the Vengeance Fighting Art. When a survivor dies during the Showdown game, +4 survival and +1 strength token. All right. Time passed until one day he felt a strange vibration. Then he heard the familiar voice of his lost friend just outside his hovel. He rushed outside, only to see the decaying body of his friend swaying awkwardly in the air. Horrified, he heard a dry rasping that could only be a laugh. For a moment, the monster was revealed before it vanished into the dark, whisking the corpse puppet away. The settlement may now hunt the Spidicules. Add Spidicules to the quarry list. As long as he remains alive, the remaining nominated survivor must depart when the Spidicules is hunted. Neat. We're probably going to do that next year, depending on how Frog Dog resources and stuff go, because I've heard this is actually a really fun fight. Well, not heard. I've seen the fight. It's a really fun fight. That's that. And then the last thing we have is Lingering Cough. That's going to be in here somewhere. Lingering Cough. Soon the darkness filled with waterlogged harmony. Survivor returns to the settlement, pale and soaked with fever sweat. Nominate a returning survivor. They are afflicted. Uh-oh. A persistent tickle in the throat becomes a relentless cough. Angry red gashes open on the afflicted's neck. Swollen viscera distending their jaw. Their hoarse cough, moist and trilling with pain and longing, echoes in the darkness. That doesn't sound good. With a warbling cry of relief, the febrile haze lifts, but mutating manifestations urgently indicate the coming of a change. Settlement innovates Mere Omens and nominates the afflicted to take up the mantle of the Mere Navi. Note this on the survivor and settlement record sheet. So let's see. All right, so this is fairly unfortunate for half of the outcomes. So who's the least valuable of our returning survivors? It's probably going to be Shirley. Shirley doesn't have anything going on. So Shirley is the Mere Navi, and we get the Mere Omens innovation. So this is where we can do our omen stuff. Mere Navi spends 3 omens to add Metamorphosis Festival to the next lantern year. Okay. Transmogrify. Consume a golden frog. If they just, okay. Bitter Prophecy. Archives grilled fungus. Okay. So, add Metamorphosis Festival to the next lantern year. Real quickly, let's see what that does. We're probably going to hold off on that, at least right now. So basically, it looks like it's a way to take your old survivors that are probably not that useful and kind of put them out to pasture. Although there is some interesting stuff in here. But you really buff up your young survivors. That's interesting. I'm going to have to do some reading up to figure out how that all works. But we still have to roll on Lingering Cough. So Shirley with a 2. Well, she lives. that's cool. Actually, a 1 would have been interesting, but we need people. Oh my god, you have no idea how much is going on right now. My brain is full. Mucus hardens into stone plugs inside your sinuses. Texts are easier. Trapped in your congested head, the next powerful coughing fit explodes the delicate pressure in your eyes. Suffer the blind severe head injury. Okay, well. Shirley might just be hanging around camp for a while. Oh boy, we need people badly. We're already in dire straits. Okay. But that's all that handled. All right. Check milestones. Nothing. Develop. All right. So let's grab all of our resources. All right. So let's look at what we can make here. Let's go grab the deck real quick. Frostcrafter. Okay. So first of all, what's this eye do? Because I've been curious about this the whole time. Oh, I'm so sorry, friend. That sucks. Make the frog doggles. Oh, and we did get a broken lantern, so we can do that. Yeah, there's plenty of places you can find. Trust me. So let's do that. Aqueous eye and a broken lantern to get us some frog doggles. While insane, at the start of your act, reveal the top cards of the AI and hit location decks. And then while stinky, gain +1 accuracy. Interesting. Very interesting. That might be good for Chandra. That also has blue. We can work on getting some Lucky Charm stuff going on. Okay, okay. What else we got? We got molar, paw, sphincter, and spine. So how are we looking for armor? We didn't get anything to make armor. All right, so we can make a vertebrae net. We can make a spiked buckler. I definitely want to do that. So let's start right there. Spiked buckler. Ironclad spine and an organ for a spiked buckler. So this is cool because it has barbed. So when you block a hit, you roll a d10 and on 9+, the monster suffers a wound. So what this means, if you remember before, we had the leather shield, and the leather shield, like shield proficiency is a thing, but you need to deal a wound with the shield. And the leather shield had a very poor damage profile. This also has a poor damage profile, hitting on an 8 with only 1 strength. However, if we play defensively and it deals a wound through barbed, or I'm sorry, not through barbed, barbed is something different. If it deals a wound through this, then it counts for weapon proficiency. So that's actually really cool. So you could play defensively until this triggers and then go on the offense. All right, so vertebrae net is an option. Long club is an option. Acid bombs, that's pretty expensive. I think I'm going to avoid that for right now. So I could... All right, also, Monster Hide, before I forget, Monster Hide to make the last piece of this set. For my pants. So I can... All right, what's the vertebrae-nets do? Let's start with that. Long club. That's really good. Yeah. The weapons are stinky too, so that lets us do some stuff. Vertebrae-net. It's a dagger. That might not be worth. I thought it was going to be a sword. I'd rather just make a bone blade for Rickard, I think. So long club, we say spindly paw. Oh, goodness. And an organ, which oily sphincter will be an organ. So let's get that long club. That sounds really nice. So acid bombs. This is cool, but it requires a perfect hit, which if we can get something like Timeless Eye or whatever, we might consider that. I mean, it's still a good damage profile. It's actually better than the bone dagger or the bone darts. Where's my club? There it is. So someone's probably going to get club proficiency, which I don't even know what club proficiency does, because I've never used it. Yeah, we get nothing for this. That's a little unfortunate. So, yeah, I think we're done with this for now. I'm just going to make a bone blade for Rickard. I think that's good. I guess we're probably just going to hold on to these two. Holding on to a perfect bone isn't bad. Sucks that we can't innovate, but we only got one hide and we needed it. All right, I think I'm good with that. So I got all of these endeavors. And I think it all has to go on intimacy. Well, augury. Because we need people badly. All right, let's put this away for now. That's good enough. Yeah, it's all got to go to intimacy. We got 5 attempts. Has anybody got decent understanding? Yeah, they're all about the same. Let's have Grigori go for it. So, roll a d10. So I have another eye, and I have the molar. I'd like to hold on to the bone if I can, but we need people. This just needs to be our goal. So 5 attempts. I think there's nothing else to spend this on right now. I don't want to do this. All right, let's just do it. First attempt. 6. 1 survival. 3. Lose a resource and gain an understanding. I'll lose that eye. That's fine. So there's an understanding for Grigori. We can get one more, then we get +1 to these rolls. That's a good trade-off. That was 2. 3. It's another survival. 4. Another survival. We're not going to get anything out of this. That's survival. That was a complete waste. Nifty. All right. Well, that's that. Oh, we need people badly. And still no survival of the fittest, so we're weak. So I don't know. Offline, I'm going to think about what we're doing next year. It's probably going to be another frog. We might do spider for year 3. I got to figure out the stink stuff because this is rough. We can't take Chandra out right now. Because if we do, she's just going to archive whatever we put on her. And that would be bad. But we've got Rickard, who's going to be a decent sword user. Whoops. Shirley's probably just going to stay at home from now on. Grigori's going to be good. We might switch him over. No, he has a -1 evasion, so he's not going to be our tank. He's going to be a damage dealer of some sort. Maybe our axe wielder. And no-name guy is probably just going to stick around, so we're going to take 2 more new people. Oh boy. So lots of interesting stuff going on. So I got a lot of offline work to do to figure all that out, but that's for offline. We have gone pretty far long tonight. That frog dog is a lot. That's an interesting fight. I really enjoy it. I just got to figure out the strategy. I think I did a little better the second time around, although my rolls kind of betrayed me. But strategically, I think I did a little better. Yeah, more to figure out there, but it's really interesting. And she's very punishing for success, but that's interesting. That's very interesting. But yeah, so thank you everybody for checking us out here. If you would like to see any of the VODs, you can do so over on the YouTube channel, usually up by Saturday or Sunday. And for those of you on YouTube, again, thank you very much for watching over there. You can check out down in the description to get a link to the Twitch channel where we are streaming live every Friday night. And that's all I've got. Thank you everybody very much. I will see y'all next week.